Okay, Philip Lee returning with another episode of Civil War Chat. Today is the 27th of September. It's a Monday. And if you'd like to subscribe, click the subscribe button below here on my lower right, and then also the notification bell in the upper right, and somebody will come by and notify you when my show starts. And so with that, let's go into today's episode, which is, I've titled it this. Some of you may be surprised, but this is the title I selected. Most Civil War academic historians are not biased. Most academic historians are not biased. They are corrupted. Unfortunately, corrupted is the right word. They became corrupted when they turned into social activists instead of truth-seeking historians. They no longer care about the truth. And that change left them invested in a social movement that demands a fixed interpretation of the Civil War. It cannot be changed. That interpretation must be one that demonizes Confederates and demands the removal, destruction, and vandalization of their statues. I can't think of one historian that came to the defense of the statues. And therefore, the historians cannot change that opinion without betraying their political movement. Consequently, they put their academic effort into buttressing that opinion that supports that movement to the nth degree. They give us character assassinations of honorable men like Robert E. Lee, whom they accuse of whipping slaves, resisting unification, and encouraging his students at Washington College to lynch blacks and being an overrated commander. It's just pure character assassination. They keep looking and looking and looking for more ways to demonize white Southerners and their leaders. They will no longer publish books or papers that question their viewpoint. It's almost as though the South has no viewpoint. Their viewpoint is the only one that counts. To change that viewpoint might reveal that they made an irrevocable mistake when they failed to defend Confederate monuments, and that's something they can't tolerate, admitting to an irrevocable mistake. Yet their own self-interest serves to keep their opinions unmovable and to censor those of us that have anything to say to the contrary. Oh, whatever we say, they just say, oh, that's a lost cause guy. That's what they do. The appropriate term for them is pious cause mythology. They are pious cause believers in their side of the Civil War and Reconstruction narrative. And because of this censorship, the academic press will only publish books and papers that support the corrupted viewpoint of these left-wing academic professors. But now, according to a 2016 article about the political affiliations of college faculty members for the Econ Journal Watch, Democrats outnumbered Republicans 12-1. The situation in the history departments is even worse because the Democrat to Republican ratio is 34-1, and which is the most lopsided distribution of all the 7 academic disciplines studied. And given the maxim, quote, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, I guess we should not be surprised to see that academic bias has evolved into corruption. One reason that corruption is bad, other than on the face of it, it's bad, but an additional reason is it undermines the authority of the institution where these professors teach their students and make their research and state their opinions. Corrupted professors at the Ivy Leagues and other venerable schools steal the authority. They exploit the institutional reputations of those organizations that has been built up over 100 or 200 years with such outrages as critical race theory, which divides the United States racially into 2 factions, victims and oppressors. Of course, whites are assumed to be the oppressors and blacks the victims. The obsession over so-called systemic racism threatens to destroy America. Any disagreement with these people results in attempts by them to silence the critic by labeling him a racist. Calling him a racist is the same as indirectly saying, shut up. I'll give you a recent example. The National Association of Colored People, the NAACP, and other agenda-driven organizations are compiling statistics on the lynchings. Of course, lynchings are evil, but I was curious to know how many of them during the Reconstruction period were politically motivated as compared to how many were not. And I sought an answer on an online Reconstruction forum. I won't say whether it was Facebook or something else, but I got in there. The people there know me. And just for asking the question, you know, what motivated those lynchings? I was accused of seeking to, quote, mitigate, close quote, the evil of lynching. I just wanted, in truth, I just wanted to know how many of the Reconstruction era lynchings were designed to keep blacks from voting and thereby defeat the carpetbaggers at the poll, keep blacks or Republicans from voting. Now, nearly everyone in that forum and elsewhere that I've been able to determine that studies the American Civil War assume and Reconstruction, they assume that the post-bellum lynchings were predominantly, if not completely, motivated politically to take the power away from the carpetbaggers or keep the carpetbaggers and scalawags from getting power. So when everybody believes something without providing evidence, like a lot of you, I think it's appropriate to question it. The only evidence I have comes from the Encyclopedia of Arkansas, which I will show you now or soon. Now this, I'll go ahead and do it now. Let me just do this now. Share screen. There we go. Now, it would be best, would it not? I mean, it would clearly be best if I could get a table that shows this for the entire Confederacy, for the 11 states of the Confederacy after the Civil War. What lynchings happened in those states, and how do you break down the categories? So Arkansas was a minor state, but at least their Encyclopedia of Arkansas provides these statistics. This does exclude, incidentally, one lynching that the NAACP and this affiliated organization includes in their tally of 24 blacks. But that was a lynching that was mentioned only once, and the Encyclopedia of Arkansas said that the only reference to it was a letter to Congressman Thaddeus Stevens of Pennsylvania, who was a big enemy of the South, or at least the white South, and really wanted to find anything he could that would destroy the reputation of white Southerners. So anyway, here's what this shows. If you exclude that one so-called mass lynching that the NAACP and the Equal Justice Initiative do include in their statistics. Well, without that, during the entire lynching era in Arkansas, there were 31 lynchings, and over half of them were white people. The blacks were about 42%, and they were principally lynched, according to the allegations. I don't know if that's true, but according to the allegations, for murders or sexual assault. The whites were executed for murder or sexual assault, horse theft, and political and other factors. But there was only one political execution, or excuse me, lynching, according to the statistics in the Arkansas online encyclopedia. Like I say, I would like to get this on, if I can find some way to compile the statistics and break them down into these categories for all the 11 former Confederate states, that would be something that would really be helpful to look at. And also to be confident that we're getting a decent tally here. There's some reason to question that in what I'm getting from just the state of Arkansas. But nonetheless, those are the statistics that anyone can get, and I provided you the source on the screen share that I just gave you. Now, what I'd like to, let's do another screen share. If you'd like to learn more about this, I recommend that you get a copy of this book, Southern Reconstruction. I believe it's $26 at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. If you'd like to get a autographed copy from me, signed by me. I'll cover the postage and send it to you. If you're here in the United States, that price will be $29. But to get it, you do have to email me. So email me, Phil, PHIL _ Leigh, LEIGH at me.com. Okay, that is our show for today, and I want to thank you for watching.